You are only as good as your weakest link. Music in the ensemble setting is dependent upon this phrase. People always want to focus on the first chair player or the soloist, but this isn't the lifeblood of an ensemble. Ensembles become superior when you have engaged musicians playing the second and third chair parts. The second bass player is supporting the first bass player. The bass players are the support for the entire ensemble. When discussing good sounding orchestras, you must have good balance. Balance is a term used to have a collective and equal sound coming from each voice in the ensemble. Bass players get a bad rap that they are the slow or dumb students of the ensemble. Everyone focuses on the great violin runs or the beautiful first cello melody during a symphony. The only reason that these parts are able to shine is because of a system of engaged and dedicated supporting roles, or bass players. Bass players don't have to just play the bass. Bass players can be the third row violins playing the third violin part. It can be the viola section that everyone just thinks are big violins. These supporting roles don't get a lot of recognition from the audience, but they are the driving force for a powerful musical experience. In my field experience, I worked with a lot of bass players. My main role was to help and tutor kids that were struggling in the ensemble. Primarily, the students I worked with were playing a supportive part in the ensemble. These kids loved music just as much as the first chair players, but just didn't quite have the skills to play first chair. Supporting players will always be the factor that makes an ensemble mediocre or superior. Next, I'd like to talk about information. Information is a crucial component in music performance. As is true with most things in life, the more information you have, the better off you will be. This is very true with music. There is so much information to be learned and acquired during a music class. I will name and discuss a few of the thousands of topics of information you can acquire in a music class. First, you need to have knowledge about your own skills on the instrument. This concept may seem obvious, but not many people really know specific information about their own playing. Musicians constantly talk about certain players that are bad or good. But what specifically are they good or bad at? Is their tone bad? How is their rhythm and tempo? Do they phrase the melody in a musical way? Do you think that they are playing the style of music correctly? There are endless factors when discussing if a musician is good or bad. This bleeds into my next point. You need to have knowledge about your section and your ensemble. Know the strengths and weaknesses of the viola section, for example, so you can talk with your peers about what you guys should be practicing at home. Lastly, I want to talk about information found in the music. When a new piece of music is given to a student, they are just staring blankly at a piece of paper with notes and words written. They have to take this paper and make music out of it. You must know the words written on the page. You must know the composer and period of music in which they wrote. You must know the style of the piece, and equally as important, you must know how to perform that style of music. Information and utilizing that information is what makes musicians mediocre or superior. The audience only hears the final product of music, which only lasts a few minutes. They will recognize the amount of time you have spent preparing and the amount of information you have acquired based upon that few minutes of performance. Do you want to do the bare minimum? Or do you want to put on a powerful, deep, meaningful performance for your audience? Do you want McDonald's or a 5-star restaurant?